Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, just to give a brief introduction, on my channel I like to post videos on personal finance, lifestyle, as well as some vlog content revolving around renovating a home and being a landlord. So if any of those things interest you, please give me a follow. I would really appreciate it. Like this video if you would like to see more content like this. In this video, I'm going to be going over my November budget. My computer's down here, so if I'm looking down here, that's why. But yeah, so to start, as always, we'll start with my rent for the month, and that was $1,099. So I believe I mentioned this in my October video, but I do include the utilities and internet and that sort of thing in that category. I don't like to break it up just because it doesn't vary too much each month. So that's what it was this month. My grocery bill for this month was $252, which is significantly better than what it was last month. At the end of this, I'll share with you like a side-by-side of October and November. But since last month was so bad, I really paid a lot more attention to what I was spending my money on, which I think is very important. So I took a bit of a break from budgeting, especially since I moved to Denver. I was still like figuring things out and I didn't really have the time or energy to do a full budget. But since I did one in October, I realized how bad things have gotten compared to what I usually spend. So, you know, if you're new to budgeting or if you haven't started yet and want to, I mean, this is a great reason. It really does make you focus on these certain categories that you may not have realized you're spending too much money on. So anyways, yeah, my grocery bill was a lot lower. I still do Amazon Fresh and I go to Trader Joe's whenever I can, but in order to go there, I have to rent a car or take an Uber, so it is a little bit more of a hassle. So I try to plan things out for, like if I'm going to Trader Joe's, I'll plan it out ahead of time so I have a big long list that'll last me for at least a month. So yeah, my next category is restaurants and dining, and that was the one that I think was the worst last month. And actually for the past few months it's been pretty bad, but especially last month. I believe it was around like in the 400s for October, but this month I'm very happy to say that I only spent $187 on eating out and takeout, all that stuff, which I think is really good. So what we did to really cut down on that expense was to just limit our eating out to once a week. So that does include like DoorDash and that sort of thing. Since we did that, we ended up spending a lot less money, and also in November we didn't go anywhere fancy. So when we did go out, it was under $100 typically for two of us. So that's that category. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, part of the reason why that went down is just because we realized that we can make food that tastes better than the food here. Denver's not really known for having great food, and I haven't really been impressed by much. So it does kind of make sense for us to just cook at home more. Next category is travel. And for November, I spent $116. So let me just look into that. So part of that was using Lime scooters, since Denver does have a ton of Lime scooters and Lime bikes around, which is very convenient if you're going somewhere maybe just a mile away or a couple miles away. And since we don't have a car, we do take advantage of the Limes whenever we can. So that was, let's see. Actually, I didn't spend too much on those. I only got Limes twice in November, and it was only $10. So I guess that's not really a big deal at all. And then I do take the train into work. I only go into work once a week typically, and it's $6 for the day. So that's about $24 for the month that I spent on that. And then if you saw my last vlog, I went back home to Buffalo for a few days, and the biggest reason why I did that is because the flight round trip I got for $37. I don't know why it was so cheap, but they were just having some crazy deal on those specific days, so I just decided why not. So yeah, that flight was $37, which was a super good deal. And then it looks like I Ubered a couple of times. Yeah, I Ubered twice, and that was $20. I can't really remember. Oh, I think this was when I went to Trader Joe's actually in November, so that's what that Uber was. And then the rest of that is from a car rental that we did. We just decided to rent a car for a day to just run all kinds of errands and do everything that we couldn't do without a car. So it was really nice to do that. So yeah, that is my travel. And then lastly, just my general merchandise. This just encompasses anything else basically that the other categories don't cover. And that's $197. So I think that that's pretty good. I didn't buy anything too crazy, just like a few things here and there on Amazon, things like that. But yeah, nothing crazy. I think I bought some clothes, but I think that was about $50 of it. But yeah, I won't get too deep into it because it's just general. Anything that is not covered by the other categories would be under general. So yeah, so that's my spend. So for the month of November, my total expenses for the month was $1,851, which is so much better than October. Again, I'll share with you the side-by-side comparison of that, but I'm very happy with it. I know some months I won't be as good as November. It just depends on what's going on, if I'm doing a lot of traveling, things like that. So it just happened to be a good month for that, especially because I was a lot more aware of my spending habits. So getting back into the frugal lifestyle. All right, and then of course next we'll go over the income for November. So my salary for the month, and again, if you're new, when I show my salary, this is my take home. I do put 10% into my 401k. I pay for health insurance, dental, all of that stuff. So I don't really touch on that because it's just not very interesting. So I'm just looking at what goes into my bank account. So just so we're clear. So for my salary then for November, I made $3,883, and then I made $52 selling something on Poshmark. I think it was a pair of athletic shorts that I bought because it was one of those things that everyone was into, but I didn't really like them and they didn't really fit right, so I got rid of those. So then my total income for the month was $3,935. So then if you subtract the expenses from the income, I net $2,084 for the month of November. That is right around where I would like to be because I do like to put $2,000 into my savings account each month. Clearly I didn't do that last month because of how much I ended up spending, but this month I was able to do that. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to keep up with doing that since I moved to Denver and things do cost more here, and now I do have to pay for an apartment versus in Buffalo I was only paying a couple $100s since my tenant was paying the rest. Okay, so this is the side-by-side comparison of my expenses for October and November. As you can see, there's a huge difference. That's where we're at for the month. I'm super happy with it. I didn't feel like I missed out on anything or was like really too hard on myself about spending. It really wasn't that difficult. I think I could save more if I really wanted to, but I'm very happy with how this month went, and I hope that the future months are more similar. But with the holidays and everything, I imagine December won't be quite as nice. I hope that you found this helpful and that you enjoyed this video. It is a bit on the shorter side because I didn't really have much to go over other than just my standard categories, like nothing out of the ordinary really that I spent money on for November. So it was just short and sweet. But like I said, I do enjoy doing these videos again just because it holds me accountable for it and it makes me really go in and look at everything I'm spending my money on, because it's really easy to just let things go overboard if you're really not paying attention to it. But when you really look at the numbers and you see the charts of the data like that, I think it really puts it into perspective and helps you kind of realize certain trends maybe, so then you can make goals for future months. But yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in my next budgeting video for December. Bye.